University life is filled with assignments, deadlines, and expectations. Everyone has a way to escape the pressure. Some watch movies, some listen to music, others play games. For Adam, that escape is Genshin Impact. What began as a simple hobby slowly became a major part of his daily life. Today, we explore whether fandom is a source of happiness or a quiet distraction from reality.
I started playing because my friend recommended it. At start I play occasionally, but I get interested in the story and the character when I play more. Every update felt exciting. I began to spend more time on the game and farming materials and collecting characters. Whenever I feel stressed, I will open the game. It became a part of my routine.
Adam's story is not unusual. Millions of students around the world use gaming as a way to decompress. But what happens when hobby becomes a habit, and a habit becomes a dependency?
I know games can be fun. I'm not saying I'm against them, but I started noticing some changes about my son Adam. He would stay awake later than usual. Most of the time, he looked tired and exhausted. It got to the point where he would take out his frustration out on me, just because he lost a few rounds during the game. Not to mention that even his assignments were completed the last minute, which is abnormal because he used to be one of the best disciplined students in his university. So, as a mother, I worry because I want him to succeed instead of failing. So, I think the problem isn't the game itself, but rather it's finding the balance between managing your own life and enjoying it.
Parents often occupied an uncomfortable position, watching their children from close proximity, powerless to intervene without risking conflicts.
Adam is one of my best friends. We started playing Genshin together. Most of the time it was really fun. We talked about new characters and new updates. But sometimes he gets very invested, so if someone criticizes the game, he starts defending it like crazy. That's when I realized how much Genshin had meant to him. I don't mind, but I just want to make sure that the game doesn't become bigger than our friendship.
Friends notice shift before we notice them ourselves.
Utilitarianism judges actions based on their consequences. Does something create more happiness than harm? In Adam's case, Genshin provides him enjoyment, friendships, and stress relief. Those are the positive parts. But, however, poor sleep, reduced productivity, strained family relationships, and excessive gaming, those are the negative parts. Utilitarianism requires us to weigh both sides carefully and honestly.
From this perspective, Genshin is neither completely good or completely bad. Its value depends entirely on its impact on a person's daily life.
I watch Genshin creators almost every day. They teach me strategies, keep me informed about updates, and honestly, they make me feel a part of a community. They are creative, entertaining, and inspiring. But I think some fans forget that creators are human beings too. Supporting someone should not mean agreeing with everything they say or do. Healthy fandoms always includes critical thinking. I still love the content. I just do not let it replace my own judgment.
Online content creation has turned gaming from a solitary activity into a shared cultural experience. But not every fan maintains that critical distance.
Existentialism focuses on meaning and identity. People create meaning by their own choices. Adam's memories, friendships, and experiences give Genshin significance in his life. The concern arises when person becomes defined by the only one thing. When the game isn't something you do, but everything you are.
When I think about some of the happiest time online, Genshin is part of it. That's why it means so much to me.
Adam, dinner is ready. Adam, You're playing again? Seriously?
Sometimes
1 minute.
becomes much longer, and the people waiting at the table start to feel invisible.
I don't ask for much. I just want us to sit together and talk like how we used to.
Gerontology focuses more on duties rather than responsibilities. A student has a duty to study and meet his academic responsibilities. A son has responsibilities to his family. A friend has an obligation to show up genuinely, not digitally. Entertainment is acceptable, but not when it makes a person to neglect his obligations that he made to others and to himself.
Duty is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is simply finishing your work before you open a game.
There was a point when I realized I'm not managing my time properly. But I still enjoy the game, but I didn't enjoy feeling stressed because of unfinished work.
I sat with him one evening and we just talked, not about the game, but about everything else. What he wanted to achieve, what he wanted from university, and what actually matters to him. He needed someone to remind him that life exists outside of Tibet.
I play Genshin too. The difference is that I set boundaries. I finish my work first. I exercise. I spend time with my family and friends. After that, I enjoy the game without rules. A hobby should support your life, not control it.
Discipline does not mean deprivation. For some players, structure is what makes enjoyment sustainable.
There's another ethical dimension worth examining: the design of the game itself. Genshin Impact uses a gacha system, which is a variable reward mechanism. Psychologically, unpredictable rewards are more addictive than predictable ones. This is the same principle behind gambling. Game company designed this system intentionally to maximize engagement and spending. Ethically, this raises questions. Are players making free choices, or are they responding to engineered compulsion? Players deserve to understand the system they participate in.
Something I have noticed in the fandom is the pressure to always be positive. If a creator you follow makes a mistake, or if he says something critical about a character or update, people will attack you. I have seen fans turn on each other over fictional characters. That is when fandom stopped being fun and started becoming toxic. I had to learn to step back and ask myself, am I engaging because I enjoy it or because I feel like I have to?
Fan communities can be some of the most welcoming spaces online. They can also become some of the most intense. The line between passion and pressure is thinner than we think.
There were a few times where I felt like I was competing with the game for my best friend's attention. We would plan to hang out and he would spend half the time just on his phone playing Genshin. It sounds small, but it builds up. You start to feel like you are not interesting enough. Like the game is just more exciting than real life.
People around us often absorb the impact of our habits before we even notice those habits ourselves.
I never told him directly how I felt. I wish I had. But eventually, he figured it out on his own, and when he did, he apologized. That meant a lot. It showed me that the real Adam was still there.
Give yourself permission to enjoy it fully within those hours. You will be surprised how satisfying one guilt-free hour of gaming is compared to 4 hours of that distracted, anxious gaming.
Balance is not about playing less, it is about playing with intentions.
Also tell the people around you your plan. When your family or your friend know you have a system, they will respect it. And you will respect it more too. Because it is not just promised to yourself, it is promised to them.
This is something I do not talk about a lot. I spend money on the game, not a small amount. At the time, I tell myself it was fine because that was my money. I earned it through my part-time job. But when I actually added it up, I felt embarrassed. I was buying character that I normally need because I felt like I had to. Because the community makes you feel incomplete without them. Ting.
This is a very common experience with gacha system. The psychology is precise. Limited time banners, fear of missing out, social comparison within the community. These are not accidents. They are design choices. A student who recognizes this pressure is already thinking more critically than most.
Now I set a monthly limit and I actually stick with it because I realize the game is still just as beautiful even without any 5-star character.
I actually started making my own content because of Genshin. Short videos explaining the role, character theories, analysis. It made me realize I could channel my passion into something creative and productive. I'm not just consuming anymore, I'm creating. And that shift changed everything for me. I spend less time mindlessly scrolling and more time actually thinking and writing.
Be a fan.
Not a follower.
Play with purpose, not escape.
Not escape.
And remember,
The most important world you will ever explore.
The one right in front of you.